Investigative journalism is a journalism which is beyond like just interviews. To investigate something is to find out something, and usually you find out something that somebody would like to have hidden. Well, in a lot of cases in Latvia, the police or prosecutor's office start to wonder about things just after the journalists find something out. One group of the topics is like research about politicians and their ties with some like lobbyists or interest groups. It's finding coincidences like from I said, the business ties and stuff like that, or political ties, because people are changing parties and people are well, getting jobs in a state-owned companies, like not ordinary jobs, but like high-level jobs without any competition, because they are members of some party or like they're close to some politician, and still happens in Latvia, and I guess in the new government it will happen a lot again. Well, I should say mixed, because from like the subjects of my investigation, it's usually negative, or they're offended, or they're like just angry. There are possibility that journalists' telephone calls or short messages were intercepted to get to know their sources, and there were like journalists taken into not custody but into the questioning. Before that, the investigative reporting was more like reporting on some like scandalous issues, but like on isolated cases, not like maybe a whole picture of like on poverty. The media environment has changed, but at the same time, the lots of media is becoming weaker, because like in the daily papers, I guess there are almost no investigative stories, like serious investigative stories. But the biggest newspaper which I worked in, actually now it belongs to unknown people, but everybody thinks that's three oligarchs in Latvia, and well, all the investigative journalists have left it in 2009. Well, there've been a few investigative, like maybe not stories, but like topics which are through the like last year maybe. But there are many like many stories which are not so, which don't go into mainstream media, but journalists know about them. Like it's in a portal PTEC, it's ptec.com. They have like many. Their audience actually it's not broad. It's basically many journalists who read it. Well, the biggest obstacle is lack of time and like no, money, finances for that. Because to do a real investigative story, you have to work for it like at least a week. Most of the cities or towns, they have only local media. They are partially or wholly owned by the municipality, so they're just you can, I think, maybe 5 or 7 independent newspapers, and they are investigating those municipalities, and usually they have very bad relations with them, and they like municipality hate those newspapers. And themes are like kind of taboo themes because it's outside these public, not but like socially accepted labels who are good guys and who are bad guys, and it's like easier to write, I don't know, a commentary about telling that good guys are good and bad guys are bad than to investigate actually why are they bad, or are the good guys really good. Because it's harder to sell.
Yeah.
People, well, or maybe media assume that it would be hard to sell, because if it would be, if they would try, maybe people would, because it's actually very important for many people. It's easier to make some news about politicians and like not even researchers, but even, well, milking some ethnical disputes. With education, the best thing would be time, because I believe many journalists would make great investigative articles, because there are many journalists are still specialized in some different areas, but they don't have, and they would make like great pieces on that area, but they don't have enough time for that. Mixed, I would say mixed, because the politicians are doing actually quite often they are trying to discredit the journalists. People sometimes believe them, and they just yeah, somebody written it, so it's doesn't matter, because it's, well, not the message is bad or incorrect, but like the media is not nice, or the journalist is like not good, so we won't take it into account. it's also very hard to attend them sometimes. Well, if you are on vacation or you take days off, because like mm, media are not so willing to send journalists. Maybe they don't see it as an investment